I command you to heal yourself.
Welcome back to episode 32 of the Mustache Room podcast. On this episode, we have two guests. John J. Murray, who's a professional stand-up comic from the Tampa Bay area. Good friend of mine. We used to perform together. He's really funny, and he's got a new special and a lot to talk about as far as the comedy scene. We also talked to my wife, Jill. She joins us again. We talk about some of the stuff that's being banned with the new health administration and all the dyes and all the things that are based in crude oil, which I didn't even know. So she's got some wisdom for us, little knowledge, nutritional knowledge. So that'll be good. We are sponsored by Mustash Brands, MUSTASH Brands. Check them out online, and mustasheroom.com, spelled the same way, at Mustache Room. I'm your host, David Ben. I am so glad you're with us. Please enjoy this episode. How many podcasts do you have of Something Planet so far?
How many? We are at 550. I think the next one will be 551.
Wow, that's insane.
50 something. Yeah.
Over the course of how many years? I never asked you like what the actual start date was.
I think we started, I think right around the time Obama started running for president.
Damn, that's a while ago.
Yeah, that was a bit ago.
Nice.
I was like, wow, there's a black guy running for president. This is exciting.
Very monumentous occasion in this nation's history. Hey, so how many, like, for people that are not familiar with you, and I'll get into like how we know each other, but who all is affixed on the podcast? Like, who are the core pieces of the Something Planet podcast?
The core pieces, it's been the same. It's been like Jared and David the Day is still a producer on the show. But right now I kind of mess with it. Like I'm doing just kind of like little one-on-one interviews like this, or maybe one-on-two, and I'm rotating in and trying to get as many people on and talking as I can, honestly.
Nice. And I've seen you collaborating with Matt Fernandez and Johnny B and doing the Three Ugly Mugs, and it looks fun.
That's like kind of our own podcast, and we're 30 something episodes into that, and it's going great. I think it's really fun. We're on the Three Ugly Mugs. We're talking about sports. We're talking about beer. We're talking about stand-up comedy.
Three fantastic areas of interest.
Yeah.
And yeah, Matt and Johnny. I mean, I love the Tampa comic scene, and I've seen it. The landscape has changed a lot. Is there a comedy club in Clearwater now?
There is. There's a comedy club in Clearwater, or Clearwater Beach.
Nice.
I mean, it's sort of a comedy club.
It's not another Coconuts, is it?
It's like a Coconuts. This is the guy that took over the Coconuts in St. Pete Beach.
Which was the way better Coconuts. There was the one that wasn't too far from you back in the day. That one was a rough
it was
patch.
the better not the Clearwater Coconuts, but the St. Pete Beach Coconuts. He took that over.
Okay.
And got Bob Shoemaker out of there, and then renamed it Sunshine City Comedy Club.
Right.
And now they have the Clearwater Comedy Club, which is at Clearwater Beach. And it's like 40 seats, and it's 40 seats, and and he still doesn't pay anybody. It's kind of that deal still.
Why would you pay anybody when people show up for free and do fantastic sets? Yeah. That's the conundrum. But I mean, it was always a great place to go work out new material. So
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes we get paid in a weird offshoot kind of way.
Yeah. I'm at the point now where, I'm going to come and work out new material, but you're still going to pay me. That's the level I'm at now.
It's art, man. And I totally get it. With me growing mushrooms, I prefer not to give away my mushrooms because it took a lot of effort in me getting the art created. So once the art is created, you don't just give it away.
That's a good segue because I did just pay for some of your mushrooms recently. Yeah, I didn't know if I was allowed to say if I paid for them or
very small scale. The IRS, I hope they're not listening. I was like, they have bigger fish to fry.
I don't know what the legality of all of it is, so.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to sell or distribute, so I prefer like an exchange-based system. So we exchange laughs and we exchange, other things to make that work. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's such a small scale; they don't give a shit.
I gotta say, fun times taking these mushrooms.
Good.
I know that's the topic of this podcast. I took like I had like a little piece left from a bar that wasn't yours.
Okay.
It was a bar that somebody else exchanged with me.
Right.
And,
good verbiage.
and so I took that and we went to go to a show and we went to a casino. By the way, going to the casino on mushrooms. I didn't know we were going to the casino before I took these.
Yeah.
And it's a sad experience on mushrooms. You're like, ooh, you're seeing it for what it really is. You're like, oh no, this is ugly.
Overstimulation meets depression. It's just like a synergy of those two things.
Yeah, exactly. So that wasn't a fun place. But then I was like, you know what? I busted out your bar for the guys that I was with. We're going to see a Perfect Circle, Pussifer, and Primus.
Lovely. I don't know Pussifer, but Perfect Circle, Primus, definitely from my day.
Pussifer is another Maynard band.
Okay.
So it's two Maynard bands and then Primus, and they all share the same drummer. And so they tour together. Yeah, it's really good. So I opened that and I was like, you know what? Let me take another half of this. So I took like a half gram and roughly, and I would like went to the moon, man. I was like, holy shit.
Lovely. That's
and it was
exactly
like
what I want to hear.
It was such a small amount. And I was like, wow, it took like it felt like I took like 2 full grams probably, like of normal crap that I would get around here. Obviously yours is a way better product.
We've worked out some of the kinks. Jill she's the culinary component, so like the flavor
and
it
tastes
that
so
stuff,
good.
That's all her, man. I can't take any credit for that.
Can you ask Jill to just send me some chocolate without mushrooms in it? I just want some chocolate. That's good chocolate.
We'll have that conversation. She'll be again flattered. But no, there's been I've gotten great feedback. I mean, I put a lot of love and care into the mushroom piece, and I'm glad that you guys get to take advantage of it. It is a beautiful thing for sure.
Yeah, so it was really fun. Yeah, and it was, smooth come down, and all of a sudden it was like, all right, I'm not high anymore, but I still feel great.
Yes. One of the things you mentioned is you didn't take that much, but you had an amazing experience. Like the set and setting, your mindset and your physical social setting. Sometimes if those are perfectly married, you don't even have to take much at all. It just like feeds off of your surroundings.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
think
really cool that you didn't have to take
I think
too
that's
much
part of it. It was just the soundscape. Like they must have brought in their own sound engineers because this is at the Mid-Atlantic Amphitheater in Tampa, so by the Hard Rock Casino.
Yeah,
and the sound was fantastic. It was just good vibes. Just tons of people surround, like it was packed out, and everybody was just so into the music. It was crazy.
I love it. We went to the Sphere and saw Dead and Company, Jill and I.
Oh wow, I love Dead and Company.
Bro,
they're so fun. They're like a fun band.
It was, and so I really like John Mayer. I've seen him solo a few times, and his style of blues is just awesome. I had no time for Grateful Dead just because I never really got into the whole jam band, never ending song sort of thing.
Yeah,
but dude, in that context, I took like 4 grams of mushrooms throughout the course of the show, and Jill probably took 1 or 2. But we were just so immersed and like so married with the music. It was the coolest thing I've ever done. If you had a chance to do that, I wholeheartedly think you should do whatever it takes to get there and do it.
Honestly, I think you need to go to more bluegrass shows. Honestly, because bluegrass music is usually it's like a jam band situation, but it's got a little bit of a different feel to it, I think. Yeah. So check out like Old Crow Medicine Show.
Okay.
Check out what are they called? There's a few bands. I'll send you a playlist.
Sweet. Yeah.
But definitely check out Old Crow Medicine Show. That is like they're a bluegrass band with punk rock vibes.
Nice.
And killer musicians.
I love it. So now I'm turned on to a whole different style of music now that I've opened the door. But bro, anything in that sphere, like you could just put, I mean, literally anything that you put on that sphere is going to look larger than life. It was the coolest experience. Whoever is the architect of the visuals and the show.
Like how big is it? Because I've seen videos of it, but like I don't think you can really get the scope on like a TikTok video.
It's huge, man. And the way they seat you,
Like
you feel like
compare it to like a football stadium that you've been to.
Definitely smaller than a football stadium.
Smaller than okay.
More of the arena style, but
so more
still,
of like a hockey stadium size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Amalie Arena or whatever it's called now in Tampa, but on a smaller scale because part of the infrastructure is used for the screen, the like all-encompassing surrounding screen.
Right.
So you only get seating on like maybe half of it. But it's freaking so amazing. Just look at some videos online. We took some videos of the Dead stuff, and they would superimpose the drummers and the vocalists, guitarists, and everything into the background. So you would have all this crazy imagery, and then there would be John Mayer like just in the background, kind of like intermingled with the it was so freaking cool, man. Loved it.
That sounds amazing. I know I think they just installed the planetarium in either St. Pete or Tampa just installed a new dome in there, and it's like the same technology as the Sphere.
Go immediately as soon as it opens.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. This place likes to do like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, I think. So I think that would be badass.
Heck yeah. And
I mean, I'll just go look at the stars too. Who cares? I don't even need mushrooms to go look at stars. It looks awesome.
No, good for that. Good on them for increasing the entertainment value of these things. I mean, every time somebody does a new dome or a sphere, it's just upping the ante more and more.
Yeah, well, it brings, that's good for education too. That's what, people will say like, oh, they're doing a dumb Pink Floyd show at the planetarium. It's like, well, who cares? People are going to like pay for it and then enjoy themselves, and then they can spend that money on like teaching kids.
It's freaking art, man. People spend. Remember the NFT buzz? Those were some idiots, man. Like, those were some dumb
people. You didn't buy an NFT for $5,000, David? Really?
They just bought some fictitious money that just disappeared. NFT joke. I'm glad I never delved into that. I'm glad my financial advisor is on the saner side, more risk averse.
That's where I'm at, is risk adverse. I'm like, well, what is it though? And they're like, well, it's a picture. I'm like, okay, but what does it make? Like, does it produce money? Like, no, it just grows in value. I'm like, not interested.
Yeah. Wait, can I hold it? No, you can't hold it. It's a digital. Get out of my house.
Yeah, at least if I buy a painting from the guy down there's an artist that lives down the street, very good artist, Luis Rodriguez. Check out his art if you haven't. Phenomenal painter. But like, if I get one of his paintings, I don't know if it'll gain or reduce in value, but I could put it on the fucking wall, I feel
like this guy's awesome. I like this art.
I like
tangible.
It. It's for me.
I bought this. You could touch it. Whereas the NFT, nothing to touch. Basically just a picture. Somebody has to log onto their phone to show you their artwork. It's not going to be posted on any wall anymore.
Right. And I go, can I see that? And then I just hit the screenshot button. And I go, okay, now you got two. Now there's two.
I own your NFT, bitch. So, John, I reached out to you because I saw that stupid article about Florida and psilocybin. And I don't know if this is directed at MAPS and like Rick Doblin and what they're doing in that organization. Well,
explain that real quick, because I don't know what that is.
Okay, so MAPS is Rick Doblin. He's a graduate of New College, where my sister Abby also went to school.
Okay,
he is like one of the leaders in the psychedelic health and psychedelic healing world. I guess he attends a lot of the psychedelic conferences. Talks a lot about veterans, healing veterans with MDMA, specifically psilocybin.
Like the Ben and Jerry's guys are into that too, right?
I don't know about Ben and Jerry, but Rick Doblin, if you look him up, you'll see how connected he is to the space. And he's very well renowned for his philanthropic work and how he's trying to advance a lot of that stuff. However, being affiliated with New College, I know DeSantis like dropped the hammer on New College for being way too liberal.
He hates New College. Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any lineage to this.
All these damn kids reading is woke. Can't do that.
These bastards they're thinking for themselves. It's not. It's not appropriate.
Yeah. We don't want you to think for yourself.
No. So he might be going after Rick Doblin. I'm not sure, but I sent you that article, which was from Marijuana Moment, by the way. I don't know how much traction or how much credibility you're going to get if your top producers for the article are Marijuana Moment. However, it is DeSantis signs bill to criminalize psychedelic mushrooms. And so I looked
Yeah.
up
Yeah, no,
the article.
there's a, you know, I think they put it in other like publications. It's just not marijuana moment was, you know, on the cutting edge of that story, but other people reported on it.
Sure. It's just like if you talk to an outsider and you're like, hey, I want you to listen to my story about psychedelics. Where is it published? Marijuana moment. You just might not get the same credence with your argument.
You can tell the legitimacy of like a publication by how many pop-up ads there are. Yeah. If there's just like one or two, that's like probably pretty good journalism. But if there's like 100 on the page and it keeps crashing, like don't trust that. Yeah.
Yep. There's
for the
free,
idiots,
and then there's
for the idiots listening, that's a good way to differentiate in sources.
that's solid life lesson. It's it could be free, but it could also be too free.
Yeah,
and
it's
too free is way bad.
Too free is very expensive.
Very bad. So yeah, I was looking at this not too free. I only got a couple pop-up ads, but I was looking at this article, and it talks about how they are not allowing any sort of psilocybin mushroom whatsoever. So you're not a grower. People that listen to this podcast might have a little bit more knowledge on the
You can pop it
life
up here
cycle
too.
Oh yeah,
If you click share right here, you can share your
Holy
screen
shit.
and pop it right
Let's
up.
do
Yeah.
it. Share the screen.
Yeah, you might as well if you got this cool new program.
Let's do it. All right. Boom. Window. There it is. Share. All right.
Cool. There
So
it
yeah,
is. That's
this
awesome.
is Creative Loafing, friends of ours.
Friends of ours, kind of a few ads, but I know Ray and a couple of the reporters that work for Creative Loafing, and they're passionate about good journalism. I totally believe that.
Agreed. So it says here that you are not allowed to possess or do anything with mushroom spores or mycelium in any capacity. So mycelium, John, is like the white stuff that is the early. It's
Jizz.
the basis.
It's the mushroom
it's a little jizz. Yeah,
it's
a great comparison. So the jizz eventually produces the fruiting body, I guess, which would be your baby at that point.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to consume is the fruiting body.
And Ron DeSantis wants us to abort these fruiting bodies. I think that goes against God, to be quite honest. God created these funguses.
You talk about fungal blasphemy is what this is.
Yeah. God created this and gave it to us. And now you're going to say that I can't have it or grow it? That's bullshit.
We should put pictures of dead fungus on billboards in the Florida area. So yeah, it says a violation here, 1st-degree misdemeanor.
So what? So you can't have the little white dust that you use to start. Like what are those spores?
Yeah, you can't have the spores, which the spores become the mycelium, which then becomes the fruiting body. There's a lot of steps in between.
So you can't even have the spores.
You can't even have the spore, which is crazy. Like a spore by itself does absolutely nothing. You have to put the spore through the process.
It's a piece of dust. Yeah, it's just a piece of dust.
But if the problem with that is you could start the process from like a spore print, which is like the imprint of a mushroom comprised of spores, but usually they come in these syringes. So it is a little conspicuous the way that it's shipped out in these syringes. So
I guess it's creepy looking. I guess it could
be
confusing. It could be confusing for some people that don't know how drugs are done. I guess
this is true. However, there's never been a death. There's never been an addiction associated with psilocybin.
No,
it doesn't exist. So like to call these dangerous, to keep these like a Schedule 1, federally
sometimes
punishable.
And I have seen this happen, and it is kind of a bad thing. You can get a little freaked out on mushrooms. Yeah, and you can have like a little bit of a bad trip, and maybe you have a bad day because of that. But that's it. It's just one bad day. That's it. Not even a whole day.
Yeah, I mean, like if you go skiing and you forget to tighten your boots, like you might end up in the hospital. Like you have to take precautionary measures. This is medicine. We call it, fungal medicine. But yeah, it's not just like hey, take this willy-nilly, throw caution to the wind. You have to have the right, landing strip.
Definitely don't get I see a lot of people that have a bad trip, like maybe drank a little bit too much. Like I wouldn't suggest drinking a 6-pack after you've just taken some mushrooms. Wouldn't suggest that.
It dulls your ability to determine how that's impacting you. It kind of like changes your
exactly.
senses around.
It messes with your senses around. If you're craving a beer after you've done some mushrooms, I would say, yeah, go ahead and have a beer, but don't get crazy. That's all I'm saying.
No, cannabis is mushroom's best friend, but beer, I would say, not its best friend.
Yeah, no, I was, I was drinking a lot of, at the concert and the casino, I was drinking a lot of those THC drinks. They got those like THC seltzers now. Pretty nice.
Are they like Delta 9? Like
they are the shitty Delta 9, so they don't do much. Yeah.
Okay.
They're not like the good shit like you get out there.
Yeah, I'm in Colorado. Like you can just go to your local, really anywhere, any place, any strip mall have 3 or 4 places where you can buy cannabis. So yeah, I'm looking at this article here, and I thought it was interesting. What was it saying here? They were interviewing some guys. Well, anyways, I can't find that, but it's kind of gross because here in Denver, you can't sell it. Like I said, you can't distribute it, but you can certainly grow it. You can use it at home for recreation,
You're allowed to use
for
it,
therapy.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, totally. You can have entire mushroom farms, but as long as it's not distributed or, taxable or whatever that's the slippery slope. But there's a lot
when
of.
Is that going to change? Oh, you can throw that down now if we're not looking at it anymore.
Oh yeah, let's do it. All right, so let me unshare that.
I can hardly see you. Yeah, there we go. Now I can see you better.
Okay. So yeah, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I'm a big advocate of decriminalization just because, like you said, you can just go to the store, buy some mushrooms and have a really bad trip. And I don't think it requires some supervision, whether it be friendly supervision or, psychiatric supervision.
A mild amount of education, I think, is good.
I agree. And so just to have it at any dispensary or,
people take it like it's like fucking like Molly or something, like it's a pharmaceutical product or something. It's not really that. It doesn't have the same kind of vibe as that, I would say.
I mean, it touches some of the same receptors, but Molly is way more what we call benevolent medicine. Like that medicine is going to take you on a nice, healthy, coaxing kind of journey. Whereas mushrooms is like, let's see where you want to go with this. And it can go bad, good, wherever you allow it to go. We're
going to the recesses of your mind. Yeah. Molly. That's why I tell people I don't take Molly anymore because like, I don't want to confuse anyone and to have them think that I'm that nice. Like, I don't want anyone to think that about me. So, like, I can't take Molly or I can't take the other one that stupid Elon Musk takes, ketamine. I can't take that one. I just get too friendly. I don't want people to think that,
You got to create an element of mystique, man. I haven't really done much ketamine. Maybe a couple times recreationally.
Same.
I never really got much out of it, so I don't even know that space. To be honest with you,
Molly, I don't even feel high. I just feel too happy. I'm like, nah, I don't like this.
Yeah, it's a good if you're with your boo and you have some spare time. Can definitely take advantage of some of the Molly effects, but just to randomly take it around your bros.
Yeah, that would be fun if you're doing if you want to spice up your bang sesh. Maybe take a little drop of Molly each. That would be fun.
Great bang enhancer.
But mushrooms are also a good banging enhancer. I've found. Feel very in tune with the other person. I'll say.
Yes, the senses all get heightened and pulled and pushed and all that stuff. So, John,
are we gonna bang now? What is going on here?
Whoa, is that part of the software? Is that a function I wasn't aware? AI has gotten tangible. Oh shit. Okay.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No. The big thing was I apologize on behalf of the legislators in Florida for depriving you of the ability to grow mushrooms because it's gotten super easy. We talk about how you can buy like these all-in-one grow bags and either liquid culture or syringes. It's a really easy process, but I can't even if I'm a vendor, I can't even ship to you in Florida now.
Right.
You'll be on the taboo list.
But there'll still be vendors that'll do it. I mean, come on. Like there was
the dark web's not going anywhere.
Right. Like I'm just not going to be able to buy this stuff on Amazon now. Like it's gotten so popular growing it is that, they're selling kits on Amazon or they were.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't think this law goes into effect until July. So I probably will buy a kit.
Scoop some shit up, man, until the ban goes in effect. And you can always call your friend Dave if you get stuck.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. When are you going to put out like if not a book, what about a booklet? You know, you can do a small book. Why not put out a mustache room book? That's what I'm thinking.
Never thought about that. I with my
A
skills,
handy
it might be
guide.
more of like a pamphlet. But
yeah, okay. Well, even a pamphlet is good. Like, you know, you should do one pamphlet on starting your first grow, one pamphlet on taking it for your first time, medicinally.
I like that. I've been teaching classes, and I've taught classes at my jiu-jitsu studio, and
Dope.
we're trying to do more at like local restaurants and bars and stuff in the area. But me and my friend Sam, I should say Sam and I, we both have the same sort of like skill sets and appreciation for mushrooms and all that stuff. So he and I are going to put on like a collaborative education session, and we're trying to do that route. But I mean, a pamphlet certainly couldn't hurt. We'll combine the two forces.
Well, let me know. I can help you with some of the graphic design if you want.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Are you so yeah, dude, I've been doing jiu-jitsu 3 times a week.
Whew.
And I get my butt kicked constantly, but bro, it keeps me sane just having that outlet throughout the week. I gotta admit.
I need to get back to not jiu-jitsu. My old man body is too broken at this point. I mean, I think the Marine Corps just took it out of me. I don't think I can do jiu-jitsu anymore. I mean, that's the reason why I quit years ago, is because I started getting like more bone spurs in my toes and shit, and like, it was ugly.
Well, dude, I mean, your body, I'm sure, in the military has taken a hit, so I can't even imagine what that feels like.
Yeah, so I need another outlet. I've been doing disc golf, but it's so oppressively fucking hot here, you know?
Maybe that's a cardio machine.
Yeah.
People don't know how hard it is cardiovascularly to do ultimate frisbee.
Oh, not ultimate frisbee, disc golf. This is the old man one. Yeah.
Sorry, I gave you too much credit there.
No, I'm not running. But I can't run. No, but disc golf, it's I say it burns more calories the worse you are at it. It's
because you have to do a lot of running and searching.
Yeah, you have to throw it way more times, and you have to search through brushes and brambles, and it takes a lot out of you. So I got that, but
I love the disc golf. Like for me, I can't conform to the normal golf standards of behavior and dress codes and stuff. So for me, the disc golf is way more liberating.
Yeah, you can just walk, like, most of the guys just kind of walk around with their dog and then like smoke weed the entire time they're doing it. I'm like,
their dog is their caddy. Yeah.
Yeah. The dog is the caddy. He doesn't do much, but he's there.
He's got like a little backpack with the clubs or the discs or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, you could have both of your guys with little disc carriers on them, and you could bring them right out.
Put those little fuckers to work.
The kids love it too. I definitely, start your kid early because they just love it.
Hey, you're outside.
My friend brought like a 3-year-old out, and it was just like, yeah, just go ahead and throw that as hard as you can. They're like, really? That's awesome.
No boundaries, no restrictions.
Yeah, no boundary. I can just fucking wing this thing. All right.
I love that. So, dude, tell me about your what's your most recent special for people that are listening, and like how can people find more about your comedy?
I would really love it if you check out my special. You can go to johnjcomedy.com, and that has like clips from my special and from the Something Planet podcast is on there. You could also go to Something Planet, search for Something Planet on anywhere you get podcasts, including Spotify, where video and audio on YouTube and Spotify, and audio everywhere else for Something Planet. And the special can be found on Amazon Prime Video, and all you have to search is just John J. Murray, and it's called John J. Murray Rhinoceros.
So proud of you, man. And
thank you.
You've been doing comedy longer than I had when I met you. So I mean, you've been doing, how many years have you put in now to the stand-up scene?
Over almost 16.
Wow.
Yeah,
good
almost 16
you,
years at this point. So I'm going to be working on a new special coming up here soon, and I'm in sort of like a contractual limbo with getting the album of Rhinoceros out there. So the album isn't actually out, but it's just on Amazon Prime. So I'm having
video.
Yeah, so just the video, but I'm going to be getting Rhinoceros onto like satellite radio and like Spotify and all that. So
I'm
coming
so proud
soon.
of you, dude. Very proud of you. And Three Ugly Mugs is Johnny B, Matt Fernandez, who haven't been on this podcast yet, but the three of you, like you said, just discussing random shit.
Exactly. Yeah. It's mostly sports. We cover a lot of Tampa sports. So if you're missing Tampa sports talk, David, you can just tune in, and we will catch you up on all of our bullshit. Yeah.
My mouth is watering for that bullshit.
How are you feeling about the Colorado Rockies right now? They're
Ooh.
making history. They're making history.
So we went to a game last night, and
What was it? What did they pay you $5 to go?
I actually paid for these tickets, and yeah, I guess I'm supporting a sinking ship. But bro, the weather's nice here, and they have teams that have other fans that come, and those are the two things that are keeping people in the seats there, because the competitive aspect of the Rockies, it's just non-existent. I mean,
I bet
38.
Being 8-38. It's
39 or whatever it is now.
They're the only team that's ever been that bad is a team that no longer exists. I think it's like a Cincinnati team that no longer exists from like the 1900s.
Yeah, if this were international football, they would have been contracted by now, right?
Yeah.
No, they're in the same division as the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants. I mean, those teams all spend shit tons of money. And
the Dodgers have just dropped their last 5, I think.
But I mean, they're going to win the World Series.
Yeah, they're going to bounce back. They're going to win the World Series. If they don't, when you're the Dodgers, if you don't win the World Series, that's a failure for your season.
The amount of money
you
that
at least
they spend,
have to go there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't blame them for just spending as much money as they can. It's baseball's fault for just like ignoring parity altogether.
Well, the Dodgers management team is all like a bunch of finance bros, so like they're getting return on this investment. Like they know how to do it.
Well, they came from the Rays, right?
Yeah, a lot of them did. Yeah, and yeah, they're not the Mets. Okay, they're gonna actually make money. Like the Mets will spend money and then also not go to the playoffs and not be good and not make money.
They'll dangle the keys for a while and then just disappear.
Yeah,
so that's what Mets fans they expect that. They know that they're the second fiddle in New York most of the time.
What's your stance on going to a baseball game and taking a little bit of mushrooms? Not a lot, just a little.
I've done that at football games quite a bit, because just like the amount of time I have to spend waiting for the bathroom or a beer and the combination of those two, sometimes if I can just drop some mushrooms and be kind of elevated for the whole game.
That's kind of what I do. So
That's
I'm not in
perfect.
a bad mood.
Totally. Yeah, I
tell people it's like I tell people I'm not microdosing, but I'm doing a small macro dose.
Yeah. The mini dose, like the macro dose is like a 1/10 of a mini dose. So like if you would micro it like, 100 milligrams, 1 gram would be your mini dose.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I think that's the best way to enjoy really anything publicly. That, if you go any more than that, you may not be able to have conversations or be an adult.
I did have to take a little bit of a break at that concert from people. I was like, all right, I'm going to have to not talk to anybody for like 10 minutes. And then I was like, all right, I'm good again.
Yeah. Sometimes like you're saying words for the first time. I'm like, wait, I need to take a pause here.
I'm going to
back
chill
to
out.
my adult self. Yes. Well, dude, I wanted to keep this to 30 minutes because I know you're busy and run into more podcasts and stuff. But thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I love seeing your face. It's been too damn long. And
yeah, I love catching up. And I'll have you back on Something Planet again soon.
Sounds great, dude. And
now that we got this Riverside thing, makes it really easy.
This is it wasn't that expensive either. So I got like a 3 months for $10 a month or something.
Okay, you got like a introductory. Yeah, I think I'm going to do an introductory thing. So because I think I don't want any barriers to doing a podcast with my friends that are in different parts of the country.
Well, I was doing. I tried EvMax or another one, and the video cut out. Like it didn't store it locally. It stored it in the cloud first. And so the video was cutting out. So that was the one thing I liked about this is it stores it locally and doesn't have that buffering.
This and the one that we use on Three Ugly Mugs is it stores on everybody's machine locally and in the cloud.
Okay.
So
well, cool,
anyway,
man.
Too much shop talk.
Yeah, too much shop talk. We will definitely do this again. And bro, I'll let you know if I hear anything in the legislative front for Florida and mushrooms. But for the time being, sorry.
Who knows? We might not even have a government here. They can't even agree on a budget. It's the whole thing is Republicans, and they're like, nah, we're not going to do a budget.
Oh dear. And on that note, on that ominous note, I'll talk to you soon, man. Enjoy your day.
See ya. Thank you.
All right, brother. Bye.
She's a special guest.
She just tells me what to do.
What's up, Buette? Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah. Hi.
Do you have some more important, fun stuff to talk about today?
Well, I was thinking that with all the news out and about talking about food dyes and working to get those banned, and just some of the initiatives with Make America Healthy Again.
Yes, Maha.
Maha. And yeah, so I thought that would be a good topic for today.
Sweet. Well, educate us.
Yeah, so I have discovered in my research that food dyes that we find in food, medicines, baked goods, I'll go through some examples, that they are derived of crude oil. So the oil industry is behind food dyes
Wow.
and benefits from it. Yeah, and I just thought that was wild, that we're consuming byproducts of, crude oil. And it absolutely is purely cosmetic for our foods. It has zero nutritional benefit and only just detriments, to be honest.
So all the dyes that, like you said, the new administration trying to get rid of anything that's not essential that could cause health issues, they're purely used to create colors, cosmetic, like no nutritional, no like taste value whatsoever.
Correct. So
Boo.
it adds no nutrients. It's not like it's filled with vitamin C, for the orange and whatnot. It's purely to enhance the color and give it that pop. So if you think about food dyes, they're mostly going to be found in candies, ice cream, like ice cream cones, packaged frostings, cereals. Even brown cereals have yellow food coloring. So it's kind of wild that it's just so prevalent, but the industry is extremely competitive with trying to grab an audience. So the brighter the colors, it appears to be more palatable, but it offers no additive as far as like a flavor enhancement or any nutritional benefit.
And didn't you tell me that other countries have already done this? Like we're lagging behind in trying to push this stuff through?
Correct. Yeah. So in Europe, most of these are banned, and they have been for quite some time. There's different severity as far as the reactions and some of the ailments that do happen with these food dyes. So some are more harmful. So red number 3 and orange B, those have been immediately banned. So they still are circulating today. The effect is supposed to take, it's supposed to be off the shelves by January of 27. Funny thing too, it's not like these foods aren't just limited to candies and hyper processed foods. It can also be found in meat. So you can add coloring to meat or to seafood. You can enhance the color of shrimp by looking more pink through the use of food dyes. And again, it's just purely to capture the audience from a visual standpoint, no nutritional benefit. The risk, while I would say everyone out there, like, we're eating a small amount, so your health is not a detriment for today. But keeping it in our food system is just going to, it'll just last, it'll just be more ongoing. So no need to panic, but by all means, this is something that we need to address.
Yeah. So for me, I really don't give a shit what my food looks like. You know me. I mean, I'll eat anything that just is easy and filling. I don't care what it looks like. So I don't know, like if you take red number 3 out of my Skittles and now they're maybe a shitty brown or like an off yellow, I don't care. I don't give a shit. It just tastes exactly the same to me. But maybe kids, like the shiny keys audience, might be susceptible to that. That's ridiculous, though, that's the audience that they're really targeting with that crap. The average person like me, just nourish me. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because the industry is so competitive, because we're not eating just whole foods anymore. there's aisles and aisles, and cereal alone, there's hundreds of options on the shelf, and they have to do something to look different, to try to stand out above the rest. So it's just highly competitive. And some of the risk factors, so red number 3 has been clinically studied, and that does cause behavioral issues and hyperactivity in kids. There are some studies that link it to autism, although that I don't think has been 100% proven, but they are looking into the science for that. It's been known to cause cancer in animals. So you would think that would transfer over. And it messes up with your hormone regulations too. So it interrupts the gut-brain axis, which I would love to pin for a future conversation to kind of discuss that.
Bring it on.
But your gut influences your mood, your behavior, your immune signaling. So if there's something in the gut that's foreign, it sends an inflammatory response, and that chronic inflammation, leads to chronic diseases. So eating, as pure as possible is always, or as clean as possible is, the best nutrition you can do for yourself. But for the food colorings, there are alternatives. You can use beetroot powder to kind of give it like a red or a purple. Butterfly pea flower extract, which is in that butterfly gin that we have. It's like that lilac color.
Wait, butterfly
that's
pea?
A natural.
Wait, let's go back.
Butterfly pea flower.
Okay,
so it's like a purple flower. It grows it grows outside. It's a flower, and you can extract the color from the flower to then color your foods.
So way better than a cancer-causing agent or something that causes.
Yeah.
I love how ADHD is a byproduct of all the candy and all the stuff we're putting in candy, and then it just leads us to buy more ADHD medications. So it's a circle of American life.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So I guess if you're a consumer and you see, do you know what the numbers mean, or do we, like, are they just arbitrary numbers? I know the colors have an influence on the color, obviously.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, like, for instance, there's like yellow number 3 and yellow number 6.
Yeah.
I did some research, and that I could not find any indication as to why the numbers are that way. It's not like COVID-19, it was in 2019 that it happened, or it wasn't like the 3rd edition of something.
Okay.
It was they were named by the different organizations that developed it. So
maybe it's the iteration, like version 5.0, yellow 5.0.
That was what my gut kind of thinks, but I haven't been able to prove it. But I do think there has to be something to that, because all the numbers are mostly small. There's like red 40, but even 40 is not that large of a number. So,
well, maybe it's also based off of like the color scale, the numeric, the alphanumeric, or not alpha, the hex code that you can put in to get a certain color value in like Paintbrush. Maybe has some correlation to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, nonetheless, don't eat that crap, right? Get a butterfly pea flower to color your thing instead of something that causes cancer made from crude oil.
Yeah, it just, it's cheap and it's easy, and they've been using it for years, and it's going to cost more to use natural products, but that's what we all deserve, because what the current standards, we're not taking care of our people.
No, we are not. So I guess, what are the main products? You mentioned this is in a lot of products. What are like the main products that we'll see that are going to be tweaked or taken off the shelves as a result of this ban?
Yeah, so definitely the candy and cereal aisle. I think that's going to be the largest impact, because in general, that is the most colorful aspect of it as well.
That makes sense.
You can find it though in think of sugary, highly processed foods. So packaged frostings and icings, ice cream cones, frozen dairy desserts, even meal replacement drinks and bars. When you get into those just processed foods in general, and when I say processed foods, I'm talking about, you look at the ingredient label and you have no idea what half the things are.
Yeah, that's never
Whole foods, you should be able
reassuring.
to decipher whole ingredients, vegetables, a grain, some seasoning, some salt and paprika or whatever it is. But if you look at an ingredient label and it is just like alphabet soup, that's
Yeah.
highly processed. And all of that, we're talking about these dyes being derived from crude oil, but a lot of the other processing agents are from oil as well. So,
Damn.
yeah.
So you're indirectly consuming oil and gas. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, all the plastic particles that we have in our body and all these other things, the amount of spiders we eat at night. There's so much toxic shit in our body. So this is good. Now, I personally, we don't let Becker eat a lot of, well, she has candy every so often, but I can't remember the last time I checked a label. Usually they're snack size and the
Mhm.
label is tiny to begin with, but I guess I should take a second look and maybe try to omit some of those from her treats or her candy cabinet.
Yeah, and like even for yourself. I mean, even if you're just going about, let me just see what's in this and see if it tastes different after that. Like it might weird you out. You might not care about it. I'm not saying throw everything out of your pantry that doesn't fit it.
Sure.
But be mindful of it and, see how you feel after you eat these foods. Are you super sluggish? Because if it's going to affect your hormones, your norepinephrine and then your dopamine regulation, you're going to kind of have like the up and down spike of craving all the junk food because your body is telling you want more, but then you suffer the consequences, but then you want it again. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and these ultra processed foods, they barely have any fiber, if at all. So it's not going to keep you
Constipation.
full.
Yeah.
It's just not going to keep you full longer and to make you hungrier faster.
Okay.
But when you're eating the same amount of, like if you have a candy bar for 200 calories, but then you eat like a whole plate of fruit and vegetables with some dips, that's 200 calories. What's going to keep you full longer? What's going to make you feel better about your day and providing it the energy that it needs versus like an immediate fix that is just going to make you more sluggish.
It's a good point. As a shortcut food eater, food preparer, I will say that the dollar that I put into the vending machine to get the candy bar is less work than going and preparing a food tray. However, not good. I'm not proud of myself every time I do that, but there is that convenience factor that is undeniable. And that's why I'm
Well,
happy
that's why we're here to, I mean,
that's why we're here.
that's why our health is in decline because we're just not willing to cook our food at home anymore or even like develop more time in your skills. It's all fast food. It's all fast and grab and go.
Yeah.
We're all super busy. It's like, where do you find the time? But I mean, there are some ways to shortcut all of this stuff, but yeah, you see how you feel when you change up the way you're eating.
For sure. So just to summarize, RFK, the new health administration, getting rid of some of the bad stuff from our food. It's not a bad thing. It should have been done a long time ago. So maha ha all the way. Let's make America as healthy as we possibly can. And
Which
Jill, any parting?
I'm not a full supporter of all of his policies, but this one
Neither am
I am
I.
definitely behind. So I do see some forward movement and even just focus on this industry because it is making our kids sick, just all of our people sick, and it's a good step in the right direction.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your wisdom, and we'll have some more really important topics in the future episodes. But for now, thanks, Buet. I appreciate it.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.